Is Shisui overrated? I think a lot of us can agree that Shisui, while not being a main character in Naruto, is extremely popular. His appearances in the manga are usually very significant, his most iconic moment having him give Itachi his eye before dying and allowing Itachi to awaken a Mangekyo Sharingan of his own. Shisui, while not having a lot of screen time, did have an impact on the story of Naruto in many ways, especially his impact on Itachi. He also has this coolness factor about him that I think a lot of people, including myself, really like. He was an Uchiha, he was part of the Anbu Black Ops, he was a skilled fighter, and had the most broken genjutsu in the entire series, Koto Matsukami. I really loved Shisui, but recently I got to thinking, was he really worth all the hype? So I'll be exploring that idea with all of you in this video, taking a look at his character and the impact on the world of Naruto, as well as how strong he is. This video will only really be taking manga canon material into account, but if I do mention some filler or non-canon material, I will mention it. With that in mind, let's get started. Before we get started, guys, please make sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment while you're down there. I appreciate the support, and let's get on to the video. Shisui is one of those characters in Naruto where the characters know exactly who you're talking about when you say his name, Shisui the Teleporter. Much like Itachi, Shisui was a prodigy, graduating from the Ninja Academy at a young age and joining the Anbu. He unlocked his Mangekyo Sharingan at a young age after witnessing a close friend of his die in battle. His Mangekyo giving him access to Koto Matsukami, a genjutsu which subtly influences people into believing their actions are of their own accord. We learn in the manga and more in the novels about Shisui attempting to stop the Uchiha coup. Much like Itachi, Shisui saw the potential consequences the Uchiha coup could have on the Hidden Leaf. He had a good enough understanding of the world to know that coup would only lead to a civil war and later the Fourth Great Ninja War. Shisui's attempts to prevent the coup fell on deaf ears as Fugaku as well as the other clan members were resolute in having the coup. As the situation got more dire, Danzo believed he couldn't trust any of the Uchiha Black Ops members anymore and thought it'd be best to kill Shisui, especially considering his dangerous genjutsu. Danzo takes Shisui's eye and knowing his death is inevitable, entrusts his other with Itachi before jumping off a waterfall to his death. And even after his death, Shisui, or at least his eyes, still play a couple of important roles in the story. One of those being with Danzo. He implanted Shisui's eye into himself, allowing himself to use Koto Matsukami and attempts to do this at the 5 Kage Summit. The other being when Itachi uses the genjutsu on himself after summoning the crow he had Naruto swallow in the Itachi Pursuit arc. The genjutsu was encoded with giving the target the mission of protecting the Hidden Leaf Village, and Itachi planned for the crow to use it on Sasuke if he ever decided to attack the Hidden Leaf Village after learning the truth from Obito. Now all of this might sound confusing. Shisui is clearly a great character with an interesting story, powerful abilities, and he's cool, and obviously cares about nothing more than protecting the leaf and those he loves. So why would I ever suggest that he's overrated? Well, it's not so much his character, but how much he's hyped for his powers, but nothing in the series is ever really indicative that he's all that strong. Let me explain. While Shisui is powerful, probably more powerful than your average leaf jonin, he's hyped up to be on the level of Itachi and maybe Minato, but never really lives up to it, at least on panel anyway. If you don't take filler into account and just take canon material, he's not really all that, in my opinion. For starters, while he does have one of the most broken abilities up until the war arc anyway, it's also the ability with the longest cooldown of any ability in the series. Koto has a 10-year cooldown period, a cooldown period so long, Danzo needed Hashirama cells to shorten it. And speaking of Danzo, he makes very light work of Shisui. He just takes his eye from him, and at least in the manga you can make the argument that it was a close fight because we never got to see it. But even if you take the Generations cutscene, it just makes him look worse. Like Shisui has an eye one moment and then the next it's gone. Same in the filler in the anime. And the anime filler just straight up embarrasses Shisui for no reason. At least Generations gives him a Susanoo, which still wasn't enough to beat Danzo. But regardless of what version of the fight you use, Danzo just tears his eye out of his face with absolutely no difficulty. And I'm not trying to make the assertion that Danzo is weak by any means, even though he is an old man. But keep in mind, Sasuke also fought Danzo, a Danzo with Hashirama cells and 5 Sharingan with the express purpose of using Izanagi. The version of Danzo that Sasuke fought was most likely stronger than the version of Danzo Shisui fought. Sasuke did need Karin to heal him a few times, but that's still better than getting uppercut into the air and getting his Sharingan ripped out of his face. Given how he was referred to and how he was known all across the nations, it always sort of gave me the impression that he was really special. And don't get me wrong, I still really like Shisui, but I just can't help but feel the story didn't do him justice in the power department. He just lacks a lot of feats we would expect from someone of his stature in the world of Naruto. So after a while, it just feels like he's slightly overhyped. The only way we ever really interact with him is through flashbacks or Itachi telling us about him. Beyond that, he doesn't really have much, except like aura, I guess? He only had one fight in the canon manga, which wasn't on screen, and every other interpretation of the same fight just makes him look bad. So in the context of the story, do I think Shisui was overrated? Yeah, a little. Shisui is a lot of hell don't show, especially if you just ignore the filler in the games. I really love Shisui, I just wish they had done more for him and not have his most important fight be as one-sided as it was. But hey, those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe before you go, and have a lovely day. This has been Dafty. Bye.